June 30th, 1992. In the central California city of Fresno, a young woman critically injured in an attempted robbery was fighting for her life.
This was a scene Monday night just after 10:30 as 18-year-old Kimber Reynolds struggled to survive.
Kimber Reynolds had been shot point blank with a .357 Magnum. She died 27 hours later.
The doctors did everything humanly possible. Bottom line is you don't bounce back from a .357 Magnum in the head. If anybody could have, it would have been her. But she didn't have a chance.
Kimber had everything to live for. A promising future as a fashion designer, a storybook family life, and a doting dad.
She was not only my buddy, but she was the apple of my eye. She was my little sweetheart, my darling.
What made this loss even more unbearable for a devastated family was the fact that their daughter's killer was a repeat offender with a long rap sheet for previous crime.
But she wasn't up against a purse snatcher, which she didn't know that these men were high on methamphetamines, that they were repeat felons, and they were violent people that were out on parole from previous crimes.
For Mike Reynolds, it wasn't enough to just grieve. He hit the road and started campaigning for tougher laws against repeat violent offenders. Reynolds called his campaign 3 Strikes and You're Out, proposing that after 2 convictions for violence, a third crime, even a relatively minor offence, should earn the offender 25 years to life in jail. For the people of California, weary of a seemingly relentless tide of violent crime, the proposed measure was eagerly embraced. The campaign was bolstered by outrage over the kidnap and murder of schoolgirl Polly Klaas by another repeat violent offender.
His criminal history dates back over 20 years. It's a very violent history. Polly was his 3rd kidnapped victim. For his 2nd kidnapping, in which he pistol whipped and stole $6,000 from a woman, he was sentenced to 16 years in prison, was out in less than 8 years, and less than 3 months later, my daughter was dead.
Given the chance to vote on Mike Reynolds' proposed law, Californians overwhelmingly said yes. The 3 Strikes idea became the 3 Strikes law, and its proponents are already talking about its positive effects.
Thank you. Here on the streets of Fresno, they're being as bold as to say the death of Kimber Reynolds in 1992 was not totally in vain. The proponents of the 3 Strikes legislation say it seems to be working. Bearing that out, the crime statistics for California. In the first year after 3 Strikes, a 13% drop in aggravated robbery and 10% drops in the rate of rape and murder.
The first year with 3 Strikes, there was 57,000 fewer serious and violent crimes in this state. Nearly 300 people are alive within the first year alone that would not have been alive the year before. And
How do you calculate that?
Was the first drop in the murder rate since 1987, and that was a very small drop. This is the most dramatic drop that the state of California has ever recorded since it's been keeping numbers in violent crime in all categories.
There's no doubt the law has put the wind up criminals. Felons paroled from state prisons are leaving California in record numbers, citing the tough new laws as their prime motivation. The law in practice is harsh, even notorious. The crime of 1/3 striker, now doing 25 to life, stealing a pizza. Lawyers defending relatively minor league criminals caught up in the 3 Strikes web say the results can be catastrophic.
Well, there was one individual whose case I actually got involved in named Dwayne Silva, who's a mentally retarded man, 61 IQ, who stole some coins from a neighbor's house. His prior record was for setting a fire in a garbage can and in a pickup truck where no one was injured, and he got a 30 to life sentence for that.
How much money did he take?
Oh, it was less than $100. And the victim did not want him to go to prison. It was tragic, and this retarded man is now at the age of 23 going to spend most of his adult life in prison.
Mike Reynolds, now working on a new campaign for tougher gun laws, is not fazed about the prospect of 3rd strikers going to jail for relatively minor offences. To him, it's all preventive medicine.
If we can stop them, then we better damn well do it. And indeed, 3 Strikes is stopping them before that 3rd violent felony. Unfortunately, sometimes the charges they're going down on are rather mild. But let's face it, my daughter was murdered over something as simple as a purse snatching. If I could have stopped that man for a purse snatching and saved somebody's life, I would do it in a heartbeat.